Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, March 5th, and I'm recording this for the second time around. The first time I found out that after I played it back, I was totally out of frame the whole time. So we're going to try this one more time, or as many more times as I need to. This is an album that I'm making for a friend. You've seen a lot of other albums that I've made for her. She has 5 children, and her children have children, and this is the latest in that series. I made it from the Photo Flip album tutorial from Denison, and this is the second album that I have made from that same pattern. The last one I showed was all about time. It's a great album. It's just a great album. Doesn't require a lot of embellishment because there's just so much to the album itself. So the cover, the spine was made from Silhouette Faux Leather Paper. And it's really, really nice. Got a nice texture. The only thing I would recommend is if you're going to use it as a spine, that you use matte medium, a fully painted back of some kind of wet glue. I did use score tape with it the first time when I first put it down, and normally score tape works for me for everything, but it just popped right up. So, but with the matte medium, it is down, it is perfect. The papers in the album are all from digital packs that I purchased on Etsy. I'm so sorry, I don't remember the names of the company, different companies that I used, but if anybody has made to tried to make a navy blue, gray, and white album, you will understand that there is nothing out there for you. So I purchased a series of papers, and I actually loaded them into my Silhouette. And once I figured out the exact sizes for the mats for the pages in the album, I simply filled the shapes in with those papers and printed them, so I really wasn't wasting any ink or any paper. I just cut out the shapes exactly the way they were supposed to be, and it worked great. I was very pleased with the whole process. You don't have the flexibility that you do with a paper pack because it's got all kinds of goodies in it, but this worked really well for me. The cover is done in a white wood paper, and the front mirrors a picture that my friend sent me of the furniture and the bedding and all of that stuff that her daughter is going to use. And there was a dresser, and over the dresser there was a whale and an anchor and a brain dead life preserver. Thank you. So I really just copied that and used it. And the little saying says, "I love you more than all the fish in the sea." Now, all the pages in this album are exactly the same. I'm going to show you the first page with all of the pockets and goodies. All of them are matted. The base pages are all navy blue and white, and then the colored mats. All of the tags are done in gray with a chevron tab, and I used a punch for that, and I believe it's a Stampin' Up! Punch, and it's just a tag topper, and I cut them all out. So anyway, let's get started. The inside front cover is matted. again in the white wood. I printed out a ton of that, and it just seemed to be a good thing to run through the album. I cut out chevron paper, and I cut out the shape of the top, and in here are all kinds of embellishments. Instead of embellishing every page for her, I chose to put all of the embellishments in front and back pockets. That way, as she goes through, she can choose to embellish it any way she likes. Okay, the front of the page, I did embellish this somewhat. I've got a little tag here. It's actually adhesive. It's got the tiniest little teeny tiny itty bitty clothespins on it, and it's cord. And then this is just another one of the whales that I cut out. And of course this is just a, that goes here. So I did use magnets on every page, front and back, to keep these flaps from flying around. So you've got a flap here. There is a pocket here. I put a piece of paper here for journaling. You have the mat here, the mat here. This folds back. There is a mat here. There is a full-size, big old mat that goes in here. There is a mat that goes in the top between the pages. And that, that'll go down exactly the way it's supposed to unless you're filming it. And then there's a mat in here. So flipping it over, again, we have the flap, the pocket, the flap, and the mat. So now I'm just gonna, not even gonna talk it through, I'm just gonna go ahead and flip the pages so you can see the papers that I used and printed out. I did actually take just it's an adhesive little embellishment, and I backed it 3/4 of the way with white paper so just the bottom is stuck down. Stripes. I'm hoping I'm staying in frame this time because I don't want to do this a third time. Okay, we've got some chevron in the gray, and these, while looks like polka dots from down here, I know, but when you see it, it's actually gray with little tiny white hearts, and I thought that was so cute. Okay, we've got some diagonals over here. I kept it very, very uniform. It just, this album and these papers just seem to call for not mixing them up too much. Anchors to go with the front cover. And then the last page we have gray and white check. And some real light gray with white polka dots. Again, I have the pocket here. There are a bunch of little glue dots in there and some other baby boy, as you can tell with the navy blue and white, it is baby boy. The back is very, very simple. And the spine, I'm not sure you can actually see the texture, but it really is a nice texture. I will tell you that on the light gray and white papers, I did have to print those out full page because when I loaded them into my Silhouette and I went to print them out, they printed out as almost a taupey beige. And I went back and I looked and I knew I had gotten gray, and when I printed them out straight from my file into my printer, they came out as gray. So you always want to check before you count on, if you're going to do something with the Silhouette, not that everybody has one or wants one or needs one, but if you have one and you're planning to do this, check to make sure that the colors come out the way they're supposed to. Anyway, that is the album. I hope to be back again certainly sooner than I have been. I just really haven't been crafting very much lately.